ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Tuesday, September 19th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. We're going to give you a chance this hour to win tickets to go see the Herd take on Virginia Tech. That's coming up Saturday, high noon affair. We go on the air bright and early, 9 a.m. We'll be over on the West Lot. Hope to see you there. But if you don't have tickets, you've got to find a way to get in this game, right? So I'm going to give you a chance to win. We'll open up our text line here next segment and give you a chance to win those tickets. Here's the number so you have it ready to go. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Coming up this hour, we're going to hear from the head coach himself, Charles Huff, the Thundering Herd, getting set for those Virginia Tech Hokies. And we've got coach's comments, sort of a preview of what you can expect from the Thundering Herd and the opponent coming up on Saturday. A lot of conversation about Grant Wells. You knew that would happen. Grant, of course, having a history with the Thundering Herd, now playing for Virginia Tech. So we got some interesting comments from Coach Huff about Grant Wells and, of course, the team in general. So that's coming up. And we've got good news today. Matthew Bell, once again, Thundering Herd men's soccer player, named as Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Week. This is starting to become a Marshall Award. It really is. It's becoming a Marshall Award. If you look at who's won this thing, there have been 4 weeks where this has been awarded. Bell's won 2. One player from West Virginia won in week 3, and then Marco Silva won week 2. So Bell's won at week 1 and week 4. This is almost the Marshall Award. This is the State of West Virginia Award, if you want to make that argument, but I'll stay with Marshall. 3 of the 4 have been Marshall players. It's a Marshall Award until otherwise noted. So congratulations to Bell. I mean, he was pretty good last week. Had a pair of goals and an assist. The Herd getting the victory over number 9 James Madison, conference opener on Saturday. Bell scored the game-winning goal, his 6th of the season. In the 56th minute, Marshall won that 3-1. That was a top 10 victory. And then previously, Marshall got a 5-0 win over Cleveland State, and he was right there in the mix. He had a goal and an assist, and then scored his 5th goal. That was his 5th goal when he scored in that game, and his 5th assist of the year. His 3rd multi-goal contribution match this season, and 5th multi-point game. And he leads the country with 17 points on his 6 goals and 5 assists through 7 games played. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So, how will the Thundering Herd react this week? Got a big one coming up. Of course, I'm talking about Marshall and Central Florida. UCF. That's coming up on the 23rd. That's going to be a big one. I'm excited for that. We'll get into that more, of course. And we'll get your text in, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Today was fun. Got a chance to go over to Marshall and see some folks I haven't seen in a week. And let me tell you, I found out real quick who the Steelers fans were and who the Browns fans were. The Browns fans were representing their colors, but the Steelers getting the victory over the Browns 26-22. Yesterday was a doubleheader in the NFL. The Saints beat Carolina 20-17. Baseball action as well. The Reds getting the victory over the Twins yesterday, 7-3. Game 2 coming up tonight as we're getting closer to the end of baseball. The Reds still in the wild card hunt. That game 6:40 tonight at Great American Ballpark. The Royals beat the Guardians 6-4. Game 2 of that series coming up later tonight at 7:40 in Kansas City. And the Pirates had yesterday off. They open up a series against the Cubbies tonight, 7:40 in Chicago. We've got the game right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We'll get your text in a few minutes. Let's go ahead and get that set. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're going to hear from Coach Huff. A lot to get into about this one. Marshall taking on Virginia Tech. We're going to hear about, of course, Grant Wells. We're going to hear about how he's changed and how Coach Huff is preparing the team. So we've got all of that coming up. And we will get your text in as well, because I'm going to give you an opportunity. Honestly, I'm going to give you an opportunity to win tickets to go see Marshall take on Virginia Tech. We'll do that when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
You've been on the go all summer, but now things are winding down and your summer adventures are coming to an end. We say don't let them, with a $60 rebate on the Uniroyal Laredo family of tires and a $40 tire rebate on all other tire lines. Now is the time to snag a new set before September 28th and start planning your next adventure. Uniroyal all-season adventure starts here. Get details at uniroyaltires.com/promotions. Offer expires 9/28/2023. Void where prohibited. Copyright 2023. M&A Incorporated. All rights reserved. Call TikTok Tire today to take advantage of the savings. TikTok Tire, 2102 3rd Avenue, Huntington.
Glockner's annual Ultimate Tailgate event is here, and you can make the buy of the year with special event savings and Glockner's lowest live market prices on the season's best inventory. We make it easy to shop because we never inflate our prices in hopes of winning a negotiating contest. No tricks, games, or hidden fees. Plus, get a cash offer for your trade above current market value in less than 15 minutes during the Ultimate Tailgate event.
We make it easy at Glockner.com.
It's Barbersville Fall Fest 2023, Wednesday, September 27th through Saturday, September 30th, with carnival rides Wednesday through Saturday and the parade on Thursday. Friday night, September 29th, it's live music with Burning Ridge and Madhouse. And then Saturday, September 30th, the Village of Barbersville welcomes Chris Cagle. Plus arts and crafts, the car show, and so much more. Fall Fest 2023 in the Village of Barbersville, September 27th through the 30th.
Hey, Tri-State. Frank's Place, formerly Sinners and Saints Bar, is under new ownership. Stop on by and check out happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and other daily specials. If you're a sports fan, they have what you need coming up from the NCAA tournament, Major League Baseball to the XFL. And listen up, if you're a first responder, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
11-year-old Hazel lives in a place that's rich in many things, but not money. As a young child, her job is to play, grow, and learn. But for kids like her in the world's poorest places, poverty gets in the way. There was a time when Hazel had to trek more than 2 hours every day to collect water from a dirty river. Once, when she got a life-threatening infection and her mother had no money for a hospital, Hazel nearly died. But thanks to Child Fund supporters, Hazel and her community now have clean drinking water and access to healthcare. And Hazel has a better chance to fulfill her potential. Child Fund works in 24 countries to make sure children grow up healthy, educated, self-sufficient, and safe, wherever they were born. Why? Because Child Fund knows the promise inside every child is greater than the poverty around them. Learn more at childfund.org.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom when you drive her back from therapy.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing, and in your new role, we help you help. AARP gives you the information to help care for your mom so that you can have patience with her, just like she did with you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving or call 1-877-333-5885 to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one.
Are we there yet?
Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP. We help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Tuesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line is open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've been waiting for this one. The United Soccer Coaches Top 25 NCAA Division I men's poll is out. Thundering Herd, previously number 2, now the new number 1 team in the country with 7 first-place votes. And the Thundering Herd is not alone as far as the Sun Belt's concerned. West Virginia right up there at number 2. Did not receive any first-place votes, though. So Marshall's number 1 in the new poll. Number 2, West Virginia. Number 3, Central Florida, followed by Akron at 4, University of Portland at 5. We scroll down the list to find other schools in the Sun Belt. James Madison comes in at number 12, so they don't fall too far. How impressive is that? You look at that top 5. Marshall, West Virginia, Central Florida. All Sun Belt soccer schools. How impressive is that? How impressive is this league? And, of course, Marshall just beat then number 9, James Madison. James Madison dropping to number 12 with their 4-1-2 record. But the Herd's been impressive. 7-0. Unlike the Mountaineers that are not so far behind them, but they tied. Central Florida's 4-0-2, West Virginia's 5-0-1, so the Herd remains perfect. No losses, no ties. 7-0. Pretty outstanding. So congratulations to Chris Grassi and his squad. Of course, now the challenge is, can you stay on top? That's going to be the hard thing. Can you stay on top of the rankings? Our text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So I've been thinking about this today. I want to give you something that'll be fun, give you an opportunity to win my tickets. 2 tickets to go see the Herd take on Virginia Tech. And I was thinking, well, what can I do today? Yesterday we did the predict the score, and that's fun. That's always good to get your thoughts on that. But today, I wasn't sure if I should make it player specific, if I should do something fun. I was thinking, how many sacks will Owen Porter have? I was thinking about that. Like, okay, how many sacks will he have? And that might be a good question to ask. I don't want to put any pressure on him, though. Coach reminded us earlier, we'll try to get to that we were putting out the rat poison, talking about how the offensive line hasn't given up a sack just yet. So Luke Creasy I think he was looking at Luke directly when he said the rat poison. Luke Creasy, of course, the beat writer for HD Media covering the Thundering Herd. So I was thinking, what would be fun today to get your juices going, give you an opportunity to win my tickets? And that's how we do it. We do it on the text line. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So here's the text question of the day. Who scores the winning touchdown? How's the winning score? Not the final score. I want the winning score. Who scores the winning score? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's going to be sort of the question prompt today. Who scores the winner, the game winner? And you know what? It doesn't have to be. If you think Virginia Tech's going to win this, dig deep in your knowledge of Virginia Tech and the Hokies. Impress me there. But I'm looking for Marshall. Who's going to score the game winner for the Thundering Herd here? And I'll give you that number one more time, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And, of course, you can join in on anything today. That's just my suggestion today. I'm kind of curious. Who do you think is going to have the game winner for the Thundering Herd over Virginia Tech? Let's get into our sound bites. Coach Huff earlier today speaking to the media. And last week the Herd was off on the football field as far as the game is concerned. Coach outlined a little bit more about how the team actually used the bye week.
Great bye week, obviously. The way the schedule set up, had our bye week a little bit earlier, so had to kind of adjust our plans a little bit and what we did and when we were doing it. Usually the bye week we try and take a little bit off for the guys who've played a lot and give some of the guys who have not played a lot or some of the guys that we think ultimately down the road will have to play, give them a few more reps. This year we had to manage it a little different because we've only played 2 games, so there's still a lot of continuity and flow that our starters needed to get. Still a lot of things we need to get corrected. I'm a strong believer that you really find out who you are between game 2 and 3. First game, you kind of get to hit somebody else. The speed of the game changes. Second game, you make those corrections. By game 3, you have a good film study or library on what guys do in certain situations. So we were able to kind of use a little bit of, game 1 and 2 to get some of that understood for the guys who have played a bunch around here, some of the new guys. And also get a bunch of, young guys some work, even though it's still early. The dividends may not pay in right away, but ultimately the accumulation of reps over time will help those young guys, some of the 2s and 3s, improve.
That's how Coach Huff used the bye week. Now with the bye week coming a little bit early, Coach talked about how the team managed this. I'm sure if you're going to schedule a bye week, you want to do it maybe as close to the middle of your schedule as possible. But the good news here is the Herd had a chance to do some prep work, sort of like a mini camp. The bad news is you got to play 10 in a row. So Coach talked a little bit about how the team has just go and handle this. How do you deal with this knowing that you don't have a break now? After this, you don't have a break. And that's something Coach talked about.
I think it's something you got to manage. Obviously, if you had a chance to pick it, you'd put it right in the middle of your season. Obviously, with the wear and tear of the season, you love a little break in there. I think it's something you got to manage, and we've got to manage it moving forward because we got 10 in a row. I think having an early bye week gives us an opportunity to get out and in front of some recruiting, get out in front of seeing some kids early in the season to encourage them to come see us later in the season. But I think it's something you got to manage. You talk about controlling what you can control. We don't control the scheduling. That's more of an administrative and conference deal. So we got to manage it. Obviously, if I had to pick, you'd pick it right in the middle where, everything's halfway. You take a deep breath and you finish the stretch. It's not the way the Cards played. I think our guys are on board with the plan we have. We've got to manage it moving forward because we don't get another, break in there.
Coach Huff talking about how to manage the break and manage the team after the off week. Something else he talked about was the fact that you get a chance to get out, you get a chance to recruit, you get a chance to really take advantage of the break in the season. Normally you don't get a chance really to get out there and recruit, so that was something that was really important for Coach Huff.
Then we were also, as an organization, able to get a lot of recruiting done. Obviously, recruiting is a very important part of what we do. You solve your problems in recruiting. So every time that we don't get a third down or we don't stop a team, get on the message boards and message a recruit and tell them, come to Marshall. So we were able to do that, able to get out on the road, get into some high school, spend some time with some high school coaches, see some high school games in and around the area, see some of our commits as well.
Get on the message boards. Coach Huff advocating message boards. Hey, you see that? You see that play? We could have used you. Come to Marshall. You solve all your problems in recruiting. The opponent itself, Virginia Tech. Coach has already been talking about not to look at the record. Don't look at the record. Look at the game film. And when he talks about Virginia Tech, He has a lot of respect for what they are, what they do, and he points out that a few plays here or there, and this could be true of any team, a few plays here, a few plays there, this could be a completely different season for Virginia Tech. But he did call them the best team that the Herd will have played at this point all year.
Big challenge coming up this week. Probably, definitely, for sure, this will be the best team we've played all year. Obviously, I don't know what's coming down the road, but of the two teams we've played, this team will be the best. They play extremely hard. They're tough. They're well coached. If you look at the film and you don't look at the record, they're a handful of plays away from drastically changing their record. And as a football coach, you watch those handful of plays, a missed tackle here, a misfit here, a turnover here, a missed opportunity there, and ultimately it definitely changes their course of what they've had so far.
Best team all year. Now, we don't know what the rest of the schedule is going to look like, but as it stands right now, this is it. This is the best team that Marshall will have played. And I agree with him. Virginia Tech definitely better than Albany, much better than ECU. Record might not indicate this, but this is going to be a challenge for the Thundering Herd. And really, it's an exciting opportunity, and that got echoed a lot today, an exciting opportunity to play against a Power 5 opponent.
You know, I told the team, you got to still remember that they're a Power 5 team, regardless of what their record is. They have been recruiting on the Power 5 level for years. We have just been able to start catching up via the transfer portal. Obviously, we can't, make a flip, completely in one season. But they are a Power 5 team, and they have Power 5 players. So we're going to have to play extremely hard. We have to be really disciplined. We'll have to play our best game. I told the team we can't go out and play one half of football and expect to compete with this team. So we've got to put a really good game plan together. We've got to have a really good week of preparation in order to give ourselves a chance on Saturday afternoon.
Another question along those lines as far as just what does it mean when you bring in a quote here, air quote here, Power 5, Autonomy 5 school. You're bringing in a program with a lot of tradition. You're bringing in a program with a lot of – the best way to describe it is this is a program where fans will travel. It's a name opponent on your schedule. You look down the list, the name opponent on your schedule at home is Virginia Tech. And so what does the benefit mean? What's the benefit? When you play a Power 5, what does that do for the program?
Yeah, I think it's not only a boom for the program, it's a boom for the community. I mean, you think about the residual effects of having a Power 5 team come to Huntington, okay? So you take it from the outside in. Well, all those people that drive in got to get gas somewhere. All those people that drive in probably got to stop somewhere and get something to eat somewhere between here and back home. All those people that come in get an opportunity to see our community, maybe for the first time. Maybe it's something that brings them back. Maybe they stay overnight. Maybe they, decide, hey, we're going to, go to Ritter Park. Maybe they're going to go to the crash site. So I think there's a lot of residual effects of bringing people to the Huntington community. So every store and shop downtown is going to get the influx of how many ever Virginia Tech fans decide to come, on top of how many Huntington Marshall fans, look at the schedule and say, hey, I can only make one game. This is the game I want to come to. For the university, you get an opportunity to get a premier team in the country in your building on prime time. It's kind of like, when you were little and the pastor came over to the house, mom made sure everything was clean. All the windows were spotless. The toys were put away. Our administration is doing a really good job of managing, the influx of people we're going to have, making sure that our stadium shows the best it possibly can. There's going to be some people that watch this game that know nothing about Marshall, and this is going to be their first impression. Not only what it looks like, but what the product on the field looks like. And then you take it from, in-house, from a program standpoint for the players. You get an opportunity to go out and create value for yourself in your home stadium in a comfort, zone or arena versus a quality opponent. I don't think it gets any better than that. I think, obviously, where we are with college football and scheduling and conference realignment, these games are getting harder and harder to kind of secure. I think Christian Spears has done a really good job of navigating this new college football world, aggressively. And the more we can get these type of teams, when I say these type of teams, the traditional Power 5 premier teams to come to Huntington, the better it is for everyone.
Shout out to Christian Spears as the Thundering Herd facing Virginia Tech coming up Saturday. And we've got tickets, and we've opened up our text line for you for your opportunity to win my 2 tickets today. And the text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I asked you, who's going to win score? Who's going to score the winning touchdown? Okay, Rasheen Ali. Let's see, Rasheen Ali. I'm detecting a trend here. Ali. Rasheen Ali will score the winning touchdown. Go Herd. Let me guess. You guys think Rasheen Ali is going to win the game for the Thundering Herd? Winning touchdown. Back to the text line. If Grant Wells does not play, then it's Chuck Montgomery. If Wells does play, then it's Micah Abraham returning an interception. There you go. A little bit more out of the box here. So if Wells does not play, then it's Chuck Montgomery going to have the winner. If Wells plays, Micah Abraham returning the interception, game winner. Thundering Herd wins over Virginia Tech. I like it. You can jump in as well. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our text line to be a part of today's edition of the show. When we continue, we're going to talk a little bit more about Grant Wells. Maybe he will throw an interception to Micah Abraham. I'm sure Micah wouldn't mind getting 1 or 2 thrown his way. I'm sure he wouldn't mind at all. But we'll talk about preparing for the offense that Virginia Tech has. That includes Grant Wells. We'll talk a little bit more about how he's changed. And we will get your text in when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, and baked lasagna. Giovanni's has the best sandwiches around, from the stromboli, Italian sub, calzones, and their signature Big Red. All dinners will be served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's Pizza, fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Lavalette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555. And in Charleston, Lisa Godwin, 304-984-0000.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette. We look forward to bringing the residents of Wayne County a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, community involvement, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com. Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Check out Working Man's Store in Huntington, the biggest inventory of scrubs in West Virginia, featuring brands such as Med Couture, Infinity, Dickies, and Cherokee at the best price. Working Man's Store has one of the largest selections of big and tall shirts, jackets, and jeans in the area. Working Man's Store is the king of blue jeans with Levi's, Dickies, Carhartt, Lee, and Wranglers in sizes up to 72. And Working Man's Store has the best selection of men's work boots and casual shoes anywhere at the best price. Working Man's Store, open every day at 145th Avenue or online at workingmanstore.com.
Get 11% off all Mastercraft doors. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out. Choose from the best in-stock selection or design your door your way. Get an external grill half-moon exterior door with insulated glass for $284.99 after rebate. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through September 24th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We continue on with our Tuesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're going to hear from Coach Huff a little bit more in just a few minutes. I want to get back to the text line at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. These have been good. I've been asking you who's going to win the game for the Herd. Who's going to score the winning touchdown? Texter writes in and says, Cam Fancher will score the winning touchdown. So, all right, a shout out for Cam Fancher. Also a Go Herd. So, yes, I will read all your Go Herds. Texter says that it's going to be a blocked field goal, and that's going to lead to a Herd win. So, blocked field goal, we'll just say special teams. The special teams unit will win the game for the Herd. Would that be a blocked field goal and a run back for a touchdown or a score, or will that be Marshall leading and the blocked field goal is just going to seal the deal? Either way, I like it. Texter says, Ethan Payne, Go Herd. All right, Ethan Payne. I can see that. Texter writes in and says, Cade Conley, big red zone targets coming his way with them focusing on Ali. Yeah, see, you all that texted in earlier, all of you has said Rasheen Ali. Virginia Tech's going to think, okay, Ali's the guy. But then Cade Conley comes in and just sneaks in and gets that game winner because everybody's focusing in on Ali, right? I like the logic here. You can join in as well. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. At the end of the show, I'm going to take all of your responses, and we're going to randomly pick one, and I will text you if you are the winner. So good luck, and we'll get more of your text in throughout the hour. Let's hear a little bit more from Coach Huff as we get set for Marshall and Virginia Tech coming up this Saturday. Coach talked a little bit about preparing for that Virginia Tech offense. Here we are again. We got a two-quarterback system going on because Grant Wells, there was some issues, some health issues, injury issues here. So Grant might be playing, maybe not. We don't know, but you got to prepare. And Coach talked a little bit about that offensive system they run with those two quarterbacks.
Offensively, right now they're playing two quarterbacks. I think Wells got hurt a little bit the last couple of games and kind of been out. And then Drones has come in. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correct. No disrespect if I'm not. He's come in and done a really good job. A little bit different than last week when we prepared for ECU. Both quarterbacks were kind of the same. So it made the plan a little bit easier. One was just a little bit taller than the other. But what they did physically was kind of the same. This one is totally different. The strengths that Grant has in throwing the ball and making reads and making decisions is different than Drones. Drones is able to run a little bit more. He's a bigger guy. So now you're talking about your quarterback run game, you're talking about your QB draws, and you're talking about being able to throw the ball, which he does well. So it's going to be extreme challenge.
Going to be an extreme challenge for the Thundering Herd. And Coach talked a little bit more about Grant Wells. Marshall has familiarity with him. There's players that are still on the team that know Grant Wells. And Coach was asked about how Wells has changed. When you look at him on film, how's he changed? And Coach at one point kind of compared him to Joe Montana.
I think obviously he's trimmed his body up a little bit, which will happen over time. I mean, we went back and watched the ECU game 2 years ago, and the kid looked like Joe Montana. I mean, and that's the scary part because I know what he can do throwing the football. I know he's gotten kind of a rough time around here because of, some of the outcomes of the games. But the kid can spin it, man. I mean, he can rip you for 400 easy. And that's the scary part. He knows the system. I think he's a year advanced in their system. How do you tell if a quarterback knows the system? Because his decision-making is on point, man. I mean, 1, 2, 3 balls out. He doesn't even look to the opposite side if the coverage doesn't give him that, that read. And he spins it, and he can throw it. And he can throw it with good accuracy. And, as we know from him being here, Grant's got a little sneaky athletic ability. He can run as well. He's not a Kyler Murray or, one of these guys that, run it every play, but he's sneaky athletic ability. He can get out of some pressures. He can, pull the ball on some zone reads and get some positive yards. I said it 21, whenever I first got here and we won the ODU game. Kid's a warrior, man. I mean, he gets hit, he gets up, he still makes throws. It's going to be a challenge for us. A lot of respect for Grant Wells and his ability to play the game at a high level when he's on.
Grant Wells getting a lot of praise, and of course he always got praise from Coach Huff. He was definitely a quarterback that I would have loved to have seen stay with the Thundering Herd, but he enters the transfer portal and now with Virginia Tech. We'll hear from Coach Huff in just a minute. A little bit more I want to get into with him. Text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Back to the text line. Here we go. Owen Porter, and again, we're asking how the game's going to be won, who's going to get the winning score. Texter says, Owen Porter strip sack, fumble recovery in the end zone for the win. We are Marshall. All right. Owen Porter strip sack, it's a fumble, it's recovered in the end zone. So far we've seen a potential Grant Wells pick that will result in Marshall winning. Grant will throw an interception, and then it'll be returned by Micah Abraham. Then we see now Owen Porter going to get a strip sack. There's going to be a fumble recovery in the end zone, and it's going to be the scorer to put Marshall on top for good. And now we've got another different point of view here. Texter writes in, says, Tugboat Tootin'. Go Gobble. Virginia Tech reference to their running back, Bashal Tulin. Let me sure I get this right here. Bashal Tootin'. So Texter says that Bashal Tootin' is going to get the game winner, and it's going to be Virginia Tech. All right, we'll take those. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. What do you think? You think it's going to be a Virginia Tech win? And it's going to be their running back, Bashal Tootin', run it in? Or is it going to be one of these scenarios? Your texts continue with 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 as the way to be in on the show. We're giving away a pair of tickets at the end of the show. Going to give you 2 tickets to go see Marshall take on Virginia Tech. We'll do that with your texts when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
BOGO Wing Blitz!
So what are you doing?
I'm practicing my order for the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. BOGO Wing Blitz!
What's a BOGO Wing Blitz?
It's the best play in college football, baby!
Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe College Game Day BOGO Wing Blitz. Every college football game day, buy one jumbo traditional wing and get one free. Plus $3 domestic tall drafts.
BOGO Wing Blitz! Say what?
At the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe on the corner of Fun and 3rd Avenue in downtown Huntington.
Check out Working Man's Store in Huntington, the biggest inventory of scrubs in West Virginia, featuring brands such as Med Couture, Infinity, Dickies, and Cherokee at the best price. Working Man's Store has one of the largest selections of big and tall shirts, jackets, and jeans in the area. Working Man's Store is the king of blue jeans with Levi's, Dickies, Carhartt, Lee, and Wranglers in sizes up to 72. And Working Man's Store has the best selection of men's work boots and casual shoes anywhere at the best price. Working Man's Store, open every day at 145th Avenue or online at workingmanstore.com.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Hey, Tri-State. Frank's Place, formerly Sinners in Saints Bar, is under new ownership. Stop on by and check out happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and other daily specials. If you're a sports fan, they have what you need coming up from the NCAA tournament, Major League Baseball to the XFL. And listen up. If you're a first responder, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
(304-396-TALK), 304-396-8255 to be a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. We've been taking your texts today. Who's going to win the game for the Thundering Herd? Or who's going to win the game for Virginia Tech? We'll entertain that as well. We're giving away 2 tickets today to the game on Saturday between Marshall and Virginia Tech. It's sold out, so you can't get a ticket unless you know somebody who knows somebody. So if you want a ticket, well, you got to keep listening to the show all week for an opportunity to win. 2 tickets on the line today, and we've been taking your text. Texter writes in, Grant Wells on a quarterback sneak. Wouldn't that be something? Grant Wells on a quarterback sneak wins the game for Virginia Tech on that play. That would be interesting. That would be something I'm sure Grant would. I don't know if he desperately wants this game or if it's just another game for him. He's got that mindset that, hey, look, I know I played at Marshall, but it's just another game. That's kind of the mindset that Coach Huff is trying to get into his players' mind. I'm sure he's done that by now. He's talked about it. It's not about Grant Wells. It's not about Virginia Tech. Instead, the Herd is playing to and preparing for the Standard. It's the Standard, not Virginia Tech, not Grant Wells.
No, I mean, obviously they know Grant, obviously, and he still has some connections with some of the guys on the team, obviously. I think, we said it with our team. We're not playing Virginia Tech Saturday. We got to play the Standard. And if we go out and play Virginia Tech, then the game in the moment's going to get too big. We've got to focus on playing to our standard, which is playing really, really hard, playing discipline, executing consistently. So I don't think it's about, I don't think Owen Porter is pinning his ears back thinking I can go tackle Grant. I think Owen Porter's playing the defense really, really well and with great effort. And if he gets to the quarterback, whether it's Drones or Grant, he's going to get a sack. After the game, I'm sure those guys will hug and do the jersey swap that everybody does now. But I don't think there's when you're on a mission, it can't be personal. When you're on a mission, the mission is what you're focusing on. What are we trying to do this week? We're trying to go out and play really, really good this week. It just happens to be Virginia Tech who we're playing, who has a quarterback that's been here, has got some history here, obviously from the state. But I try to keep the main goal the main goal. The main goal is we got to go out and play really well.
On mission, playing to the Standard, the main goal is to go out and play well. That's what Coach Huff has been saying to his team as the Herd gets set for Virginia Tech. Now, let's talk about the defense just for a moment. We really haven't focused too much on that because, after all, Grant Wells played for Marshall. Grant Wells, he's from here. Grant Wells now plays for Virginia Tech. He's going to be coming back on Saturday. It's been about Grant Wells, but Marshall's got to contend with that Tech defense as well. And Coach Huff talked a little bit more about that unit.
Defensively, very talented group. Very talented group. The most experienced, talented group will play this year. These 2 games. D-line is real. They're explosive. They've got pass rushers. They got edge rushers who can get after the quarterback. You guys have laid the rat poison and reminded us that we haven't given up a sack, so it will probably be like a sack fest come kickoff tomorrow or Saturday because you guys baited everybody into thinking that we've all of a sudden become the Pittsburgh Steelers. But no, they do a really good job up front. And we're going to have to do a good job blocking them. They're really long and athletic on the back end. I think we all know that the tradition and history of Virginia Tech football is to have really good DBs, and they continue to do that. They've got some guys with some really good length and size and speed, and they're physical on the back end. Traditionally, Brent Pry's a defensive guy. The defense is, to me, kind of the heart and soul of the team. Not that the offense is not good, but they play with a Brent Pry edge on defense, and you can see that when you turn the film on.
And we're going to hear more about Coach Pry tomorrow. There's a relationship there between Coach Huff and Coach Pry, so we'll get a little bit more about that tomorrow. But we've got time for your text. I deliberately left some time so we can get a few more of your text in. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I've loved all these today. These have been great. Texter says, I'm starting to detect a trend here also. Pain for sure. Go Herd. I try to read it text accurate here. A lot of O's and that Go Herd. A lot of exclamation points there as well. Texter writes in and says, Ethan Payne for sure. So it might be some pain for Virginia Tech on Saturday. All right, here we go. 45-yard field goal with 3 seconds left. A new unsung hero, Reese Veerhoff. Okay. I like that. Okay. I'll take that. A 45-yarder and a new unsung hero. Would a 45-yarder to beat Virginia Tech on the turf at Jones C. Edwards Stadium, would that go down in the annals of Herd history? It might not rank as number one. It's impossible to rank that as the number one moment. But that would be a fitting way to remember this game several years from now. Marshall hit a 45-yarder to win the game. A walk-off. How about a walk-off? Yeah, 3 seconds left. How'd Marshall win that game? Veerhoff came up and just knocked it out of the boom. And the Herd beats Virginia Tech. Beats a Power 5 school. Beats Grant Wells. Okay, I like it. I see it. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is the number. You can get your text in. We got a couple minutes left on the show as I try to reposition here to talk a little soccer with you because we got to talk about that again. We didn't touch much on that. But there's a new number one team in the country, and it is the Marshall University Thundering Herd. On the men's side, the Thundering Herd receiving 7 first-place votes, and Marshall is the number one team in the country, followed by West Virginia at number 2. So the Herd jumps up 1 spot. The Mountaineers jump up from 4 to 2. Central Florida goes from 5 to 3. University of Akron drops from 3rd to 4th. And then University of Portland jumped from 11th to 5th. 11 to 5th. There were some big jumps here. Southern Methodist jumped from 16 to 6. Syracuse is 7th. Stanford drops from number 1 to number 8, and then rounding out the top 10, Missouri State University from 15th to 9, and then the University of Louisville goes from 5th to 10th. And that's your top 10. Outside of the top 10, James Madison University. So James Madison in the top 15, but outside looking in as far as what the Sun Belt's been able to do in soccer, this has been pretty impressive. I mean, you're the Sun Belt right now, and you're sitting there going, we've got the number 1, and we've got the number 2, and we've got the number 3 team in the coaches poll. I haven't seen a release yet from the Sun Belt. It's coming. It's got to be coming. I'm going to check my mail now because usually the Sun Belt is sending those bullets out real quick. It'll probably come tomorrow. I'll probably see that tomorrow. But that's something the Sun Belt's going to start loading its gun up and start shooting those. That's something that they will definitely launch and send out just to let everyone know, hey, look, here in the Sun Belt, we got the best soccer conference in the country. And it's all, I think, because, to be honest with you, to be fair and honest with you, at one point I thought, before all this realignment, that Marshall could be in the best soccer conference in the country with Conference USA. But then that went away, and the Sun Belt reformed its soccer portion of the league. It's sponsoring soccer again. And a lot of that had to do with Marshall coming in. I'm not saying it's the only reason, but now the Sun Belt had enough teams to be able to sponsor soccer. And look what it's done for the league. You've got West Virginia that was leaving the MAC, going into Conference USA. And was a perfect move for West Virginia. And then you got Central Florida going into the Sun Belt because it needed a place. And you've got 4 of the best teams right now in the top 15. And 3 of the best teams at 1, 2, and 3. That says something a lot for the Sun Belt. That's pretty good. Hopefully the Herd can continue this. We'll see. We'll see. Another showdown coming up. It's going to be a busy week for soccer. It's going to be a busy week, of course, for the Thundering Herd. Completely not fazed at all, I'm sure, about the number 1 ranking. That's kind of where Chris Grassi, he kind of, that's default for him. Like, yeah, we should be the number 1 team. We should be the number 1 team here in the league. We should be the number 1 team here in the country. We should win the regular season crown. We should then win the tournament crown. We should go to the NCAA tournament, and we should win that too. That's Chris Grassi. Loves collecting trophies, so that's a pretty big deal. We're trying to get Chris on the show. Of course, I don't want to ruin anything because just the fact of the matter is he's undefeated this season, and I don't want to mess his schedule up, so we'll try to get him on sometime here in the near future. But Herd standing at number 1, Central Florida number 3, West Virginia number 2. That's pretty big, 1, 2, and 3 in the Sun Belt. Top 3 teams in the country. And you know what? With that said, that's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to pick our winner in just a few minutes, so if you've texted in, thanks for texting in today. Everybody that texted in today is going to be thrown in the drawing. We'll name a winner here soon amongst ourselves, and then we will text the winner. So keep your phone handy. Look out for that text. It could be coming to you here in just a moment. We'll do it again tomorrow. If you don't win today, we will give you another opportunity to win tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.